this stunning upset and beat Hillary Clinton. Here to discuss is CNN political analyst David Gregory and CNN political commentator, journalist, and author of A Woman in Charge, The Life of Hillary Rodham Clinton, Carl Bernstein. Carl, what are your thoughts this morning?
This is tragic and dangerous. That what is going to happen in this country if Donald Trump follows through on what he said and the tenor of what he said and did in this campaign, there is an underlying racism that we can't get away from that is a big part of this story. And also questions about can a woman be president of the United States right now? But the underlying racism, that was the theme, the idea of nativism, the idea of walling ourselves off in this country. This is now going to become policy in some ways. We just heard the congressman talk about our inner cities in a way that defies facts. Crime is down in our cities. Yes, Chicago, there is a murder wave, no question, but the statistics are undeniable.
In New York, it's historically low.
All over the country,
well, also, look,
basically.
Carl, America is also the leading manufacturing engine in the world, but perception is reality, especially in politics. And Donald Trump took beautiful advantage of that in this election. So what do we see now is perception versus reality, David? Because he comes out in the early morning hours, he doesn't say rigged, he doesn't say wall, he doesn't say Muslims, he doesn't say immigrants are all going to get out. He says what we hear from every other president when they're elected. So, is perception now changing because of his reality?
I don't think so. And I think it would be an overreading of a grace note in that acceptance speech to have that displace what he campaigned on, which was divisive, which frightened his opponents, which was in many ways un-American, talking about jailing his political opponent. There was bipartisan agreement about that. And I think one of the things we haven't talked about a lot is the challenge, not just from his opposition, from Democrats, but what about from Republicans? Republican leaders, Paul Ryan, John McCain, Mitch McConnell, they opposed his talk about a Muslim ban, about building a wall. So what kind of opposition are they going to mount as they work with him or against him and hold him accountable for some of these things that he campaigned on and that his core supporters will expect him to follow up on, including pursuing criminal charges and investigation of the Clinton Foundation, or perhaps more on the email server, despite the fact that the FBI said, maybe he'll fire Jim Comey.
They also
maybe since he says it's all rigged.
They also did not oppose him.
They did not oppose him, but
totally.
The question is now...
They went along with it.
No, I understand that, Carl, but what I'm saying is absolutely. But do they exercise some accountability on him in their position of leadership, or does he say, look, I'm leading a movement, and I can... Because this has been building now.
But you're judging him as an ideologue. And that is not what Donald Trump is. The idea that he's going to make good on his promises assumes a conviction that I don't know where your confidence is in his conviction.
He's not an ideologue. And
I agree.
Many of the things that he's espoused in terms of substance are not ideological, don't fit with the right wing of the Republican Party. Rather, if there was any ideology expressed in this campaign, it was hate, disdain, and marginalization. That's what he has to overcome if we are going to have
But he also said that he was going to do these things. You got to hold him accountable. Barack Obama said he was going to close Guantanamo Bay. He never got it done. It's not that he didn't want to. He couldn't get it done because of circumstances. So, there's accountability. He ran on these things.
Yes, and he won.
And
he doesn't have to be ideological to believe
yes,
people voted for him. This is also about America. This is not just about Donald Trump. That, yes, there is a genuine point of identification that Trump and Bernie Sanders made, and they made it early, about people who are suffering in this country and in this economy, and it resonated, and Hillary Clinton was horribly late to come to recognition of this.
But Sanders didn't say, I will motivate your hatreds and I will write scores for you.
And that is the underlying message of the campaign, and it's a reason why brown and black and immigrant Americans are frightened.
Not enough to come out and vote
this morning. No, they did come out and vote, but not enough to defeat him.
But Bernie Sanders, like the President-elect Trump, in that tweet, talked about the forgotten man and woman out there who felt left behind by the economy, by big institutions, including government and the political process.
Carl, David, thank you very much. Great to have you here this morning.
All right, so